Okay. This is gonna be like, I just had the realization of like, oh my god, what is that? It's kind of cool. Um, what's this like? It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe of my worth wounding, I guess. Because there's like the people pleasing aspect, right, of it, right, that I talked about a little bit ago, of like whatever I spoke about. I can't remember. As soon as I say things, I forget them. But I just had a bit of a like shocking realization last night as I was going to sleep, because I was just thinking about like my worth, and it feels different to people pleasing, but I understand how it ties in, because it's like an element of, it's the elements of me understanding my worth. And that's something I think I've always thought that I, and felt that I do. And then last night I was realizing that I understand how important I am to myself because of like having to be hyper independent, having to self-soothe, and like I can be alone with myself, and I can have fun with myself, and I can be silly with myself, and I can be sad with myself, and I can be soft with myself, and I can like, I am comfortable with all facets of myself as a human being. And I like value all parts of myself. And that's always kind of like assimilated into my brain as like having a good understanding of like my value and like valuing myself highly. But then it kind of clashes with this whole people pleasing thing. And the fact that I don't necessarily like enact or like embrace my value that I seem to have an understanding of, and I seem to have like quite a reliance, like quite a self-reliance, and quite like a, I would think is like a whole experience and understanding of my worth. The petal was folded. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've always thought I've had a very good understanding of how important I am because I understand how important I am to myself, but I don't let myself where is this leading? It's like I don't let myself show all parts of myself to other people because of the people pleasing thing of just like, oh, I, in order to keep this like abandonment wound in check, I guess, I do the whole thing of like meeting someone, getting close to them, understanding what they need. And this is all subconscious, by the way. This is all like, it's not like I'm calculating and being like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's all that subconscious interaction. You're meeting someone, seeing how I like innately off the bat like fit into their life, and kind of just like give myself those strict and rigid boundaries and go, all right, this is what this person needs. This is all you are to this person, because then if you are exactly what they need, they will not leave you. And it just clocked me in the head last night that like clearly that isn't understanding my worth. And I think I was talking about the whole people pleasing thingy. I forget what I said, but it just came to my head that like the video was mostly about like care and compassion and like understanding people's needs and being able to give that to them, but having that be a thing that kind of like cuts out my alarm bells for me needing to give myself that need, I think. So this is just another facet of it, which I think is very interesting, but my brain is just like attacking this problem from a different angle. And I think it's interesting in a positive way. I think it's good that I'm like getting to the root of this issue through like a bunch of different tunnels, because yeah, it's like, now that I say it out loud, it seems like the most obvious thing ever. Like, oh, you value yourself, but you don't allow, you value your whole self when you're alone, but then you don't allow your whole self to be shown with others. So you don't value yourself in the context of relationship, like in the context of relating, because like, and I guess this is the part that my brain confuses me, because in my brain there's a part of me that's just like, you're on your own, babe, You live this life, you're born alone, you die alone. You need to be the person that understands your value. You need to be the one to know yourself at your depths, at your heights. Like, you need to know you. You need to value you. And I feel like I've achieved that. I feel like I'm like, yeah, I get it. I know how important I am. I know how important it is for me to always be aware and in connection with myself. But then I very much don't know. I very much have no idea that, not that I have no idea, but I very much have, that feels wrong. Mercury retrograde is like coming up on the horizon, babes. I can't talk responsibly. But the connection and the transference of like my understanding of my value to myself and my understanding of my value to others is interrupted by this whole people pleasing thingy. Not just in the sense that I like put my needs second, because that is people pleasing, being like, that is a part of people pleasing, of like what I talked about in the last video, like overshadowing your needs for somebody else's needs and then giving to them first without giving to yourself, sure. But also this value thing. And like, I don't know, yeah, I think my mind is just absolutely tripping nuts over the fact that like that should be the most obvious thing ever, right? But it wasn't. But also I can't beat myself up over it. I think I should be celebrating the fact that at least I'm becoming aware of it, because then once I'm aware of it, I can do something about it. And I already am. And I'm really proud of myself. But I guess I just wanted to make a video of, if you're struggling with people-pleasing tendencies, if you're anything like me, with the same kind of struggles and woundings, this has felt really good to realize, because it's just another thing to help me just like show up authentically and like allow myself to take up space, because that's the ultimate like problem, I think, at the root cause of this whole people-pleasing tendency thing, is like not really knowing or ever have really been given the green light and like the encouragement to show up as wholly and completely who you are in all parts of yourself. Like, if you have people-pleasing shit, it's usually because only certain parts of you were ever accepted as a child. Like, your parents were only happy if you ever got good marks, or your parents were only happy if you were like the one to regulate their emotions, or like whatever it is. I'm going to be studying that in uni later. But yeah, like everyone's wounded because of that whole thing. But the primary thing is that you were taught as a young kid that only certain parts of you were okay, and only certain parts of you were useful or acceptable or good to other people. And I think that's when I became like hell-bent on being okay with myself, and then kind of just rejecting the idea or the need or the desire to be accepted by other people, and just becoming even more hell-bent on just being hyper independent and knowing every little facet of myself and being able to be silly with myself and being able to be childish and sad and angry and everything. Like, I'm really comfortable with myself now. That's something that I definitely pride myself on. But now I'm realizing, I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, that's cute, but like, this is just another thing that's feeding inauthenticity, or like showing up inauthentically, and not, well, rather than that, like that's right, but rather than that being like the core understanding that I have now, it's like, yeah, it's cool to be cool with yourself by yourself, but if I can't allow myself and have the confidence, and if I don't understand my value to its whole and complete degree, to the point where it takes me to be like, no, I am valuable, therefore I can be me in whatever situation, not just by myself. Like, if I don't have that level of like understanding of my worth and my value, then like, I don't know, I don't want to be like, then it's not worth anything, because it is still worth, like, I do still put value, I do still put strength, and I still put Mercury retrograde. God, it's not even hit yet. Fuck. I do still I do still see the importance of the relationship that I have with myself, and I do still think that is something worth cultivating. But I guess like my next level thing is like, all right, now it's time to get that and transfer it over to everything else. Copy paste, babe. Copy paste. Because if you can love yourself like this, And if you can show up with yourself like this, that means you can accept yourself, which means other people can accept you. I can accept myself, which means other people can and do accept me. I think that's like the point. Because yeah, I don't know, brains are real tricky, man. Like, yeah, I'm trying to address, like, it's a big thing that's coming up, and I think it's just coming up because of, like, astrologically what's happening for me right now. It makes sense for it to come up. Because a lot of, like, this next chapter of me birthing and, like, my whole first year, which is, like, identity, personality, understanding of self, your appearance, your body, who you are. That's coming up for me. And so naturally all this stuff will be coming up for me to be able to like dismantle and empower myself through, which I'm very proud of. So I'm glad that I'm not tearing myself up about it, because I was really close to doing that. Because it's a little bit of a habit of mine, is to like realize something and be like, what an idiot, how could you only realize this now? But obviously, Annabelle, you only realize this now because you're only ready to realize this now, and at least you realized it now, and it's great. So yeah, shout out to my people pleasers. Love you. I hope this could maybe bring this issue forward to you if it needs to be brought forward. And if you're going through the same thing, I hope it can provide you comfort that like, this is a normal thing, I think, in the process of healing this wound. And we're all in this together, babes. Yeah. Also, look at this flower. The flower I found on my walk yesterday. And then my friend, whom I love very much, she found this one, which is also really beautiful. I think, and she said, I think they're the same flower, but look at them. They're so different. Oh, they're the same flower, but they're so different. That's how I feel. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. Bye.